Hey crazy friends,
Hey guys.
it's Jay and Francis with Find Your Crazy. We are a family of 9 who live full-time in our RV with 6 of our kids as we travel the country to see every national park. As we've been entering into this new year, we talked even in our last video about some big changes that we're making as we're examining our routes and our budgets and our rig. We're making some pretty major changes, and we
Big changes.
shared a lot of those in our last video. But there's one change that we haven't shared yet, and it is probably the one that is going to affect us the most.
Yes.
And we're not really sure that it's a good change, but stay tuned. We're going to tell you all about it. So as we said in the intro, there is one more big change coming to our rig this coming year that we haven't talked about yet. And that is the fact that up until this point, we have been a family of 9 traveling with 6 of our kids. And starting tomorrow, we're going to be a family of 9 traveling with 5 of our kids. That's right, our beloved Virginia is headed back to college. And so we are going to be headed back out without her, and there are lots of sad little children, I can tell you for sure about that. So for those of you that don't remember, Virginia is our second oldest. She just turned 20. She's our youngest biological, and she has been traveling with us this last year. She had started college last year right before COVID, so she got in one semester and then COVID hit, and with all of the craziness, we just decided that she didn't want to keep going with it, with all of the online, and it just wasn't ideal. So she decided she would come and travel with us until she figured out what she wanted to do. She was just going to a little junior college at that point anyway. And so in the time that we were traveling, she finally settled on kind of a direction, a major that she wanted to do. And so we were able to find a small private college, which is really fitting for her personality. She's not our most outgoing, talkative child. She's much more of our introvert. She's much more like her dad. And so we were able to find a place that was just perfect. And so one of the things we've been doing in this time that we've been here since Thanksgiving is making the final tour of the campus, making our final decision, getting registered, getting signed up, getting moved into the dorm. And so we've been doing all of that over the last month as well, preparing for us to leave. So, Virginia, what is it that you're going to be majoring in? You decided to major in, and kind of the direction that you want to go with that.
Well, I've decided that I'm going to major in psychology because I want to become a counselor.
So that'll be a 4-year degree here, and then she wants to be a Christian counselor, so that'll be a couple of extra years at a Christian school once she gets her undergraduate in psychology. So far, she's actually, classes started 2 weeks ago. She's been on campus for 2 weeks, but she's been coming back here to the camper because our schedule just overlapped that time, so she's been coming back and staying with us on the weekend. So in that 2 weeks, what do you think about your school, and what are kind of some of your favorite things about it so far?
I like that it's really small and it's kind of like really like filled with nature and stuff, and all the staff there is super, super nice. So.
That's one of the things that we all liked about it is it's a pretty big school, but their undergraduate program is not that big, only like 400 students. So all of our classes are small, 10 to 12. The campus is beautiful, and so got a lot going for it in that direction. So obviously, when we pull out tomorrow morning, we're going to be headed on a new route. We're not going far. Francis's birthday's in a couple of weeks, and so we're actually just going to be gone for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll be back for a week, and then we'll be gone again. So we're not going super, super far, but we are leaving without Virginia. So Virginia, you've been traveling with us for the last 6 months, and during that time, you've been kind of our one anomaly, because we've got all the young kids and we've got you as one older kid. And for a lot of people that have older kids that might be thinking about RVing or traveling, so what has been your favorite part about traveling over the last 6 months in RV?
It's just been cool to see like a lot of different places that probably most people wouldn't get to see,
Mm-hmm.
especially like at this age.
What was your favorite national park?
You can't ask me that. I don't even know the names of any of them. I don't know. I like that one with the cool trail and rocks. I don't
The
know.
one with the cool trail and rocks. Yeah, that narrows it down, right? So, what was one of the hardest things about living in the camper for the last 6 months?
Probably the transition of going from having a complete room all to myself to bunking with like 4 kids and then everybody within 6 feet of each other.
So Virginia had a bunk in the bunkhouse with the other kids, and if you've seen our tour before, you know we kind of have curtains up, so they have a little bit of privacy, but that's nowhere near like having your own room. Or actually in our Sticks and Bricks house that we left before, Virginia and Annalie had an entire mother-in-law apartment in the basement of our house, so they had their own bathroom, kitchen, living room, everything. And so moving from that, it's even more drastic than just moving out of your room, and so that was definitely a big adjustment, especially for an introvert that kind of needs that time alone. And so I know for sure that was probably one of the toughest spots. But even with that, you know, in the time that you've been in the dorm by yourself so far, you've missed us a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. It's good to be missed. So Virginia will be staying here, and we're going to be heading out, and so you won't be seeing much of her. She'll be back here. Good news is she's really close to where Annalie, our oldest daughter's at, so we're not just leaving her for the wolves. She's got family. We've got lots of friends around here as well, so we feel like we're leaving her in really, really good hands. So Virginia, say your final farewell.
Goodbye.
The thing I miss the most about Gina is we can't play Minecraft. We built really big worlds, and we built farms and mansions. The thing that I miss Regina is that sometimes when Regina babysits, we watch TikToks together, and I really miss not getting to spend time with her.
All right, hey Ruthie, what do you miss about Virginia living with us? You miss playing with her? Yeah, she played with you, didn't she? What about you, Rosie? What do you miss about Virginia being with us? Play games? What kind of games did she play? Would she be silly and get on your bed and pretend like she was a puppy dog? So she would pretend like she was a puppy and get on your bed, wouldn't she? Yeah, she was super sweet to play with y'all, didn't she? Yeah. She was very sweet to play with you and Ruthie, that's right.
What I'm gonna miss about Virginia is she would always play on board games with us.
So as you can tell, our little guys are definitely going to miss Virginia. She adds a lot of fun to our camper, and she was really good about taking time to laugh and play with each different kid and in different ways. And so she is definitely going to be missed by all of our little guys now that she's gone. And not just as little guys, she's going to be missed by us too.
Of course.
You know, it's very different, obviously, traveling with little kids and an older, really an adult child with us.
Right.
And so we handle things a lot differently with that, but even with all that, I'm still going to miss her. Me and her have a very similar sense of humor, and so a little sarcastic and dry sense of humor, and so we had a lot in common, and we both enjoy video games, and so we got to talk about that a lot, and so I'm really going to miss just having her around for those laughs.
Yes, and as a mom, you know, it's such a bittersweet time. It really is. We knew from the beginning that this was not going to be a season that would last forever. I mean, this was not the ideal situation for an almost 20-year-old to be in a bunkhouse with siblings, and so it was never intended to be forever, but I sure did enjoy the time that we did have together. Just being in closer quarters. We had a really big house before, and they had an apartment downstairs, so there would be days we hardly even saw her except for food, coming up and getting a snack, but it was really nice just to kind of reconnect, especially at that time in our children's lives when they're kind of flying the nest and they're getting their own wings. It was just special to have a gift of experiencing some of those national parks together. Anley only got to experience one, and so it was neat to see that through another adult's eyes, to have an opportunity just at the end of the day to talk together, just to have those more adult conversations and think through things. She and I are we like to analyze things and characters in movies or songs or musicals. We have a lot in common as that's concerned, and so I'm gonna miss that other gal in the house that was my other kind of girlfriend, and we'd go shopping and we'd go get in the car and we'd go get a Starbucks, and we kind of would have our girls' days, and I'm really gonna miss those opportunities just to spend time with her. But it also is bittersweet because I'm super excited about her journey. Jay and I both had an incredible college experience. We loved going to Auburn University. We loved the opportunity to stay on campus, and so we wanted that so deeply for her to experience the joy of that, the friendships that we still have as adults. Some of our best friends we met in college, and we still keep up with them all the time, and so we wanted that for her. We wanted that experience, and so it kind of necessitated her moving on campus, and Emily kind of stayed with us and lived at home because we had this whole apartment where they didn't even have to come and go through the rest of the house. It was an entire suite, a whole floor that they had, and so we had a little bit different experience, and we are excited that Virginia's going to get to have that, and so we're super sad, but it is totally wrapped up with joy, excitement, and just the anticipation of the dreams and the journey. And as we've said over and over again, she's beginning her own adventure. This adventure has been ours and something that our family has been excited about, but now it's time for Virginia to branch out into her adventure. Anley's adventure is absolutely rolling out and getting married and her job and career, and so Virginia's is just beginning, and so we just wait with kind of bated breath, praying for this adventure of hers to really just start to roll out.
So we want to just close out by giving you a look at some of the fun adventures that Virginia's been able to have in the short time that she was with us in the camper and now that she's gone.
What?
Are we smiling or eating? Is this a photo or
Just eating. Video.
Make all the male goodness go.
All right, what did you get?
Seafood.
Lots of seafood.
Squid. Looking for the other day.
Guys. You can do it! Go, 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 Jen! There it is! You got it! Go, 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 go! You got it! You got it! Dance arena!
Wasn't too much.
Is this your world? You understand that, don't you?